Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at something literally game-changing, yet incredibly intimate and actionable. It's called the architecture of marital intention. Basically, think of this as a practical micro-guide to strengthening your bond. We're going to strip away all that noise, the sweeping, complicated relationship theories, and just focus on a single foundational exercise. It's designed specifically for couples who are actively seeking to strengthen their connection and just profoundly change the trajectory of their relationship.
So think about you and your partner for a second. Like, really picture your daily life together. We live in a world full of constant distractions, daily stressors, and just that overwhelming, relentless rush of obligations. So the question becomes, how do you anchor a marriage? I mean, it's a heavy, deeply reflective question, right? When the inevitable storms roll in, what actually holds the two of you together? What stops that slow, quiet drift apart that happens to so many couples? Finding a grounding solution for relationship resilience, well, it isn't just some nice romantic idea. It's an absolute necessity if you want to survive. And, we often think anchoring a relationship requires grand gestures or dropping thousands on an expensive vacation. But the material we're digging into today suggests something way more grounded.
Now, what's really interesting here is how marital intention is defined. Pay close attention to the language. It's not passive. It's not just this warm, fuzzy feeling you get. It is defined as the act of anchoring your marriage by writing and sharing the why behind choosing your spouse. This gives immense weight to the idea that a relationship survival absolutely requires deliberate, focused action. It just isn't enough to simply be married or to just coexist in the same house like roommates. You have to actively architect the intention behind it. You've got to build it on purpose. And we are told exactly where to begin. Day 1, write the why. Notice the specific instruction. Saying day 1 implies a fresh start, right? It's a deliberate reset button for you and your partner. And it kicks off with a solitary, introspective act. Before you negotiate whose turn it is to unload the dishwasher or sort out the grocery list, or honestly, before you even engage with your spouse, you have to look inward. You have to discover, or maybe rediscover, the foundational why of your bond. Why them? Out of literally all the people in the world you could have built a life with, why did you make this specific choice? So the crucial point here is this highly manageable constraint, the number 3. You aren't being asked for a 10-page essay. No one wants a comprehensive chronological history of your entire love story. It's asking you to isolate exactly 3 reasons you chose your spouse. Just 3. Now, why is this such a powerful constraint? Well, because it forces clarity. When you are strictly limited to just 3 things, you have to cut through all the superficial stuff, like, the fact that they make a great cup of coffee or that they always remember to buy milk. You have to dig deep. You have to find the absolute bedrock truths about your partner and your choice. It's incredibly focused, which is exactly what makes it so incredibly potent. Let's see how this builds into an actionable, mechanical process. Step 1, write down 3 reasons you chose your spouse. Step 2, read it aloud to them tonight. Notice the beautiful little progression happening here. You're moving from the quiet, solitary act of writing, literally putting pen to paper to solidify your internal thoughts, to the deeply vulnerable, out-loud connection of sharing it directly with them. And don't miss this, it specifies tonight. There's a vital urgency to it. It's basically saying, hey, don't wait for your anniversary, don't wait for Valentine's Day. You create the meaningful moment today. Because when you do that, this anchors your marriage in intention. By executing those 2 simple, specific steps, writing it down in total isolation and then reading it aloud in vulnerability, you are doing something profoundly structural. You're taking what was just a fleeting internal thought about why you love someone and you're transforming it into a permanent shared anchor. You are explicitly defining the architecture of your relationship. You're no longer just drifting along on autopilot. You are securely anchored. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate takeaway here. Couples who remember their why fight harder to keep what they have. Honestly, this is the long-term impact of this entire micro-guide. Relationships are hard. We all know that. There are going to be friction, disagreements, and really tough seasons. But this reveals the foundational secret to surviving those seasons. When you have clearly articulated and shared that why, you aren't just fighting blindly to avoid a breakup. You are fighting for something incredibly specific and incredibly valuable. You've basically given yourselves the strength, the resilience, and the exact reasons to fight for your relationship's survival. Which brings us to the most important question of all, and I'm directing this right at you. What are your 3 reasons? I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Please don't just finish this explainer, nod your head, and then scroll to the next thing in your feed. I'm inviting you to turn this off right now. Seriously. Go grab a physical piece of paper, find those 3 reasons, and go read them to your partner tonight.